today on eNEWS. Slip sliding away, how you can stay safe when Old Man Winter wreaks havoc on the streets. How Lethbridge got up close and personal with some feathered friends. And Butt Out, how a local organization is using exercise to help smokers kick the habit. Welcome to eNEWS. I'm Caitlin Wilson.
And I'm Craig Kamba, and here's today's top story. The latest line of defense against a dangerous drug is causing some controversy amongst health professionals. The federal government is looking to make an antidote available over the counter. Some healthcare professionals believe that this may curb the rate of overdose deaths. Others say it's simply enabling users in their addiction. Megan Williams has more on how addictive fentanyl is affecting people in southern Alberta.
Euphoric, but you want to fall asleep at the same time. Within 2 minutes, I knew that I said exactly, like, that's my new drug. And yeah, it's kind of the worst day of my life.
Fentanyl. The opioid drug has been related to over 200 deaths in Alberta alone in 2015. This is something that Chinook Regional Hospital emergency room physician Dr. Richard Buck has seen all too often.
Typically the person's not breathing. And when somebody's not breathing, they have no respiratory effort whatsoever. They are typically pale. They often are blue. We call it cyanosis in medicine. And the other thing we see as well too is that their pupils are pinpoint. So they're little dots in the eyes. And that's very classic of what we call an opioid overdose. About 2 or 3 years ago, we started seeing these people who were presenting to the emergency department who had taken a street drug that they were calling OxyContin. But OxyContin should not do this. Found out these medications are actually not OxyContin, but they were pressed to look like fake OxyContin. It was actually high doses of fentanyl, up to 100 times what we'd give in the emergency department for any type of painful procedure.
So this is an naloxone kit, so it's in a hard sunglass case or container.
Stacey Burke is the executive director of Lethbridge HIV Connection. The agency is one of just 8 sites that has been designated by the Alberta government to distribute the take-home naloxone
This
kits.
organization, we've dispensed over 150 kits here, and we've had 6 reported reversals or saves.
For Lethbridge College students, Health Services is also looking at what can be done to support those struggling with addiction. Harmony Jones is a registered nurse and team lead for mental health on campus. Jones says that asking for help is the first step in recovery, along with a few choice pieces of advice.
The steps would be never use alone, only use in small quantities.
RCMP are continuing to investigate, both provincially and nationally, as to where fentanyl is coming from. Until the time where the source can be stopped, it looks as though the take-home harm reduction method may be the best hope for reducing the number of fentanyl deaths across the country. For eNEWS, I'm Megan Williams.
If you or someone you know is in danger of overdosing, call 911 in an emergency or visit stopods.ca for information and addiction management strategies.
Snow, ice, and freezing temperatures continue to create dangerous driving conditions. But every year, ready or not, motorists young and old brave the elements to get from A to B. But Lethbridge police say before getting behind the wheel, it's important to plan your trip and check road and weather conditions. I spoke with some experts to find out how you can stay safe while traveling this winter. Snow-covered and slippery roads are 2 challenges drivers will face this winter. With poor visibility and reduced speeds, there's no denying that Old Man Winter is here. Constable Steve Baker says it's important to give yourself plenty of time in order to deal with the unique challenges Mother Nature presents.
Especially in southern Alberta, where we have the wonderful Chinooks, you get a lot of thawing and then freezing, which causes some very, very slippery conditions.
And with the slippery conditions, Baker says slow down and leave plenty of room between yours and the vehicle in front.
There's that cliche speed kills, and well, it can, right? Because as you go faster, your ability to stop, your ability to react, everything decreases.
If you do happen to find yourself involved in an accident, police say it's important to remember a few key things. First, if you can, safely pull your vehicle over to the side and out of the way. Second, an accident is only police reportable if it's over $2,000. And finally, remember to get all the information from the other driver, including driver's license, license plate, and registration. Police add getting proper winter tires can also reduce your chances of getting into a collision.
We don't have any legislation in Alberta saying that you need to have winter tires, but winter tires will make a world of difference when you're driving around in the winter.
This mechanic agrees. Dustin Regimbald-Dieb says not having winter tires is one of the #1 mistakes drivers make.
They're made out of a softer compound. They tend to give you a better traction at lower temperatures. They don't get quite as stiff as an all-season will.
Regimbald-Dieb adds it's important to prepare for the winter months by checking your battery and brakes. By following these tips, you can help ensure your safety on the roads during the winter months. If you want to find out more about delays, road conditions, or any major accidents before going outside, simply dial up 511 for free traveler information. This service can be accessed via phone, mobile device, or computer.
The economy. It's the story of early 2016. Here in Alberta, oil prices are plummeting and other sectors are showing signs of weakness as well. However, Lethbridge and area appears to be fending off financial chaos other communities are experiencing. As Tanya Plain-Eagle reports, its roots in agriculture are one reason why.
We also have already a very diverse economy.
According to Mayor Chris Spearman, Southern Alberta relies heavily on agriculture for support. Given the recent downfall of our dollar, Mayor Spearman says possibilities are endless when it comes to agriculture.
The real value of economic diversification and economic development is that we grow it here, we process it here, and we export it here.
Farm Credit Canada says supporting local producers is essential for Lethbridge. According to a 2011 Lethbridge County study, agriculture's total annual contribution to the local economy is more than $1.1 billion annually. District Director Blaine Gorrell says agriculture will always be a major contributor to Southern Alberta. Gorrell says that if markets remain strong, Lethbridge and area's economy will benefit.
Agriculture has always been key in Southern Alberta, and I'm anticipating, regardless of where the oil industry goes, that agriculture will always be playing a major role in the local economy.
Gorrell says it's the consumer that suffers when the Canadian dollar is weak. That's because it makes purchasing imported goods from markets with stronger currencies more expensive. Spearman says that with the University of Lethbridge and the Lethbridge College, training people to work in the agriculture community is key to help keep our economy on solid footing during a challenging global climate. For eNEWS, I'm Tanya Plain-Eagle.
The Canadian dollar is hovering around 70 cents US. Mayor Spearman says a weak Canadian dollar makes Canadian products cheaper and more attractive to international markets, including the US. Coming up after the break, how a local school is combining toys and technology, and how raptors helped raise awareness about conservation and our environment.
Every day, animals are abandoned, given away, or become strays. They need someone to come into their life and give them a home that allows them to thrive and become part of a loving, caring family where they truly belong. Lethbridge and District Humane Society takes in handfuls of neglected animals who need your love and affection. Not only do you help them, they can end up helping you too in some shape or form. Make your house a home and adopt an animal that will bring as much joy into your life as they will do for you. Adopt today, save a life tomorrow.
1 in 4 Canadians are youth.
Youth mental health disorders are second highest in hospitals.
1 in 3 youth are reported being bullied right now.
Discrimination of LGBTQ youth is 3 times higher than heterosexual youth.
Stop. Youth are not statistics.
It's time to break stereotypes and create opportunities for youth in safe environments and change the way we see them. The new generation, our generation.
Crime Stoppers and Lethbridge Regional Police need your help in solving a theft. On November 26th, 2 firearms were reported stolen from a vehicle at 17 Carlton Road West. The firearms include an 1187 Sportsman auto-loading 12-gauge shotgun with a youth stock and a black Remington 870 Express pump-action 12-gauge shotgun. The forensic unit identified shoe tread patterns near the vehicle that resemble Nike Air Jordan Soulmates. If you have any information on this or any crime, please contact Crime Stoppers by any of these methods. Standard message and data rates may apply. Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 for information leading to an arrest. Remember, you will not have to attend court or testify, and you will remain anonymous. We want your information, not your name.
Welcome back. Students from Lethbridge College's Multimedia Production and Digital Communications and Media programs got the chance to get practical business experience recently. They took part in a competition aimed at developing a marketing and branding strategy for a local company. Providing students with hands-on real-world experience has become a cornerstone of the School of Media and Design. Aaron Haugen has more.
Professionally sexy.
Students from Lethbridge College's School of Media and Design got the chance to put their skills to the test last Friday. The college partnered with a local tech startup to give students the chance to develop a branding and communications plan for an existing company. Calling the experiment YQL Creative Combat, students from the Digital Communications and Media and Multimedia Production program were split in two groups. They then had to work with complete strangers, much as they would have to do when working in a real-world environment. Sponsor Maxim Management says working with organizations like Lethbridge College, students can practice their skills in a real-world environment and develop a business identity.
Yeah, it's actually the cornerstone of our business model. Like, we're a really future-focused company. We're really founded on collaboration and the knowledge era.
Students were given 5 hours to develop a branding and marketing strategy. They had to design a logo for the company, develop a way to market the company's services, and design a mock website and social media presence using the brands and strategy they developed. Students then had 5 minutes to present their plans to Maurice and other business types. They had to justify their decisions about their choices and how they represent his company. Multimedia instructor Tanya Weeder came up with the idea of collaborating programs after working with a few of the instructors in digital communication.
Well, I saw some good synergies between our programs and thought that we could provide an opportunity to them and they'd offer a unique experience for our students.
Weeder says the practical experience shows students that what they learn in the classroom has real-world applications in the careers they wish to pursue once they finish their education. She also hopes that this will lead to partnerships within the community in the future. For eNEWS, I'm Aaron Haugen.
Students in all 4 programs in the School of Media and Design will be collaborating again later this year on Kaleidoscope, a year-end fundraiser for student awards. As Aaron just pointed out, the Creative Combat event took place last week. On today's edition of Campus Horizons, Halen Cooper got a little more in depth on Creative Combat by sitting down with a multimedia production instructor to find out the competition's guidelines and what challenges the students faced.
Hi, welcome to Campus Horizons. I'm Halen Cooper, and today we're talking to multimedia production instructor Tanya Weeder. And today she'll be telling us a little bit more about Tech Connect. So, what were some of the rules for Tech Connect?
So Tech Connect was a 4-hour competition that saw collaboration between DCM, Digital Communication and Media students, and Multimedia Production students.
And what sorts of things were included in the community and marketing strategy?
So they had to do things like create a logo and social media icons, a website mock-up.
And was there a central theme that these strategies had to fix?
So they worked with an entrepreneur, Obed, with Maximum Management, and he really wanted his brand to speak more directly to his customers and clients that he didn't feel it was doing at the time.
Okay, and what sorts of challenges did you see your students facing at the competition?
So one was that it was a really short timeline, so they had to do a lot of creation in a very small amount of time. And then the second was that they had to collaborate and work in a team with people they didn't know, so a lot like the real world. So having that experience was really valuable for them.
Interesting. All right, well, thank you very much. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on Campus Horizons, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Halen. As mentioned earlier, Kaleidoscope takes place April 16th.
Still with innovation in education. How about robots and Lego? Sounds like a kid's dream world, right? But they're also an engineering and technology lesson in disguise, helping elementary students learn the value of teamwork. I got a first-hand look at a local elementary school's new program. Budding builders at Agnes and Davidson Elementary School are combining mind and machine to build Lego robots created to perform specific tasks. This is the first year of the robotics program here at Agnes and Davidson Elementary. It started last November, and though only 10 students were expected to register, over 38 grade 4 and 5 students are now taking part. It runs at lunch hours and twice a week after school. The free program is run by a handful of enthusiastic parents and staff. Both Kelsey Prednavost and his son Solomon have been happy to take part.
First League Robotics League is a program that's designed to help kids learn a lot more about robotics, but also about competition and about how to cooperatively work with other kids.
Robots are built through the Lego Mindstorms line of educational toys and involve both building and computer programming. Tasks included are demolition and composting techniques, earning students points for each objective achieved. 2 teams from the school recently traveled to the TELUS Spark Center in Calgary, competing against other teams. Both were awarded the Rising Star Award, reflective of incredible teamwork.
They're on their ball. They know what they're doing, and it's really amazing to watch.
His son Solomon can't get enough of it.
The programming's pretty fun, and building Lego and being with my friends and stuff.
The Lego League is also part of an international competition. Programming and designs are learned collectively in groups, incorporating a number of important skills students will find valuable in their lives, from applied math and science to creativity. The program also works closely with the existing robotics program at Chinook High School.
A wildlife show last weekend brought the community up close and personal with some high-flying creatures. Sarah Redekop is standing by with more on the story. Sarah?
Thanks, Caitlin. You know, it's not every day that humans can get a look into the eyes of a raptor, but last weekend the Canadian Wildlife Festival gave Southern Albertans real insight into these creatures. I was there for the experience. These birds squawked for conservation last weekend. The Canadian Raptor Conservancy brought its feathery friends into town. The purpose was to help spread awareness of wildlife and the environment. Falconer Bob Smurfit says the close interaction with the birds encourages people to be more environmentally conscious.
And so when they see a bald eagle like Rocco here, and they want to continually see them every single day, and we give them ways how to protect the environment, it usually clicks in, they're like, that's a good thing to do.
The great horned owl is actually Alberta's provincial bird. Various displays like this one were here at the Wildlife Festival this past weekend. Falconer Ryan Duncan says that people should remember these birds are not meant to be pets.
So basically we take our animals and we raise them from a very early age to be very tolerant of humans. We don't say that they're pets. They're trained animals. They do have their own wild tendencies from time to time. So what we do basically is we use positive reinforcement to encourage them to cooperate.
From the thriving bald eagle to the less fortunate peregrine falcon, a variety of raptors native to southern Alberta were found at the festival. Through various cities around the country.
So Sarah, what was your favorite part of the festival?
You know, Caitlin, I would have to say that it would have been the great horned owl. It's really an amazing bird.
Did you learn anything new about the bird?
Actually, yes, I did. The owl can hear a mouse squeaks from up to 900 feet away.
Wow, that's good hearing. How can people find out if the Wildlife Festival will be coming to their city or town?
It's pretty simple, Caitlin. Upcoming cities on the tour are listed on the Wildlife Festival Facebook page.
Great, thanks, Sarah.
Coming up after the break, an update on the Kodiak's track and field team, and an in-depth look at unique businesses in Lethbridge.
Is your life lonely? Do you need a friend? Adopt a dog today. your life will never be lonely again. Your life will be filled with fun adventures with your loyal companion. For more information about adopting, go to windycityrescue.com.
Hey man, how's classes been? Pretty rough, man. I've been feeling really depressed lately. Oh. Well, I gotta run though, so I'll see you later. You ready? Yeah. Oh, nice man.
If you or someone you know is suffering from mental health issues, call 403-329-4775 for help.
Hello, welcome to the Kodiak Report. I'm Aaron Haugen, and joining me this week is Morgan Gunderson from the men's basketball team. Thank you for joining me this week, Morgan.
Good to be here.
So, you finished off 2015 with a little rough patch. You had 2 hard games against Mesenhat, which unfortunately you didn't win, but you rebounded coming into this week with 2 wins over St. Mary's here at home and away. How important were those 2 wins in getting the team's rhythm back?
They were really big. Just as far as our positioning in the standings, they were huge to get us back up kind of near the second seed behind Red Deer. And just good for our confidence going forward into this week when we have to play Red Deer twice. Those 2 wins last weekend were huge that way.
Now, going into Red Deer leading the South Division, what will you need to do to make sure you get the 2 wins and keep your playoff hopes alive?
Our biggest strength is when we play as a team, because when we're moving the ball and getting everyone involved, I think we're really hard to stop because we have a lot of different threats. And so that is going to be our key, is for everyone to show up and play their roles.
Well, thank you very much for joining me this week, Morgan. That's all the time we have for the Kodiak Report. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks, Aaron, and welcome back to eNEWS. With an extremely successful cross-country season under their belts, the Lethbridge College track and field team has hit the ground running. This past weekend, the team competed in its first event of the year. Cole Sweer reports.
The Kodiak's track and field season began with a bang over the weekend. At the tournament, the women ended up placing first overall, but the men were slightly less fortunate. The Kodiak men's team ended up placing second, just below Concordia University. One of the female competitors, Sylvia von Gunten, says the weekend set the pace for the rest of the running season.
A lot of our athletes, our team did good, and everyone else kind of found out where they're at for their base level race, like where to go from here and what to work on and what to focus on in the future training sessions.
Coaches say one of the benefits that the track team has is a close-knit group. Most of the runners ran on the cross-country team together, so a common connection is already built. Co-coach of both the cross-country and track and field team, Simon Shares, says despite a similar group of runners, he is taking a different individual-based, goal-oriented approach this year.
Well, we've sat down with individual athletes and we've looked at how they performed last year, and then we've set some goals as to what's reasonable for this year, what type of times or performances, rankings they might be able to achieve this year if they work hard.
Whereas in cross-country the Kodiaks run as a team, the more one-on-one goal approach is more common for the runners in track and field. The goals are more personalized because during the events they could be the only ones running in their specific event. Despite the personalized approach, Shares stressed, just like in most other sports, team building is still extremely important for track and field.
The Kodiak's next track and field event will be held during the first week of February at Concordia University in Edmonton. Co-coach Shares hopes the men have what it takes to take first place. For eNEWS, I'm Cole Sweer.
The Kodiaks hope to see provincials in their future as they head into their next meet for the first week of February.
Made popular by Hollywood blockbusters Casino Royale and The Kingsman, the sport of parkour is on the rise. Locally, when Breathe Parkour opened its doors, it became the only local training facility specifically dedicated to teaching the art of urban gymnastics. Halen Cooper reports.
The sport of parkour seems to have stuck its landing for some local residents. Breathe Parkour opened their training center dedicated to the sport last spring. Often referred to as urban gymnastics, parkour is the act of moving from point A to point B in unique and effective ways. Proper training and safety is what the facility is there for, but Breathe Parkour says some aspects can be worked on from home.
Parkour is very much based on getting your body. That's sort of the only real piece of equipment. Some people like shoes, some people even go barefoot. So the biggest thing, I guess, is calisthenic type of exercises are what you can expect to get out of parkour, and also what you could work on at home to prepare yourself for something like parkour, climbing up a wall, that kind of thing.
Breathe Parkour provides their classes with trainers experienced in the sport. Participating in urban gymnastics for 3 years, Doug Hoffman is passing his love for parkour onto a younger generation, which is, as Hoffman says, the most satisfying part of his job.
I can't really explain the feeling you get when you have someone that you've taught and they're coming up with these skills and they're so excited and they come to you with this glow in their eyes and they're like, oh, look what I got, can I show you this? It's honestly the most rewarding thing I can say that I've done.
Breathe Parkour has facilities in both Calgary and Lethbridge, but they hope to bring the sport to all over Canada one day. Breathe offers a variety of classes for a variety of ages, from children as young as 6 to adults as old as 81. For eNEWS, I'm Halen Cooper.
Breathe Parkour held Lethbridge's first ever Speed League competition. It's hoping to continue the steady growth seen in the community recently.
A new program designed to help people become more healthy and active has made its way to Lethbridge. Jonathan Guignard caught up with the organizers of the program to see what kind of strides are being taken.
Participants are walking their way into a healthier lifestyle as part of the Find Your Stride program. The program was introduced to Alberta in the fall of last year and has recently found its way to Lethbridge with the help of co-organizer Brooke Mulder.
Find Your Stride is an 8-week program, and it's designed to help current tobacco users or people who have recently quit using tobacco to get more physically active.
Each class includes an hour of group discussion, followed by an hour of physical activity. Something Mulder believes is important in this part of Alberta.
Southern Alberta actually has some of the highest rates of smoking in the province, so it was really important to us to bring that program into the city.
Participant Murray Weens smoked for most of his life before quitting 6 months ago and says the program has definitely helped.
And once I started taking the classes, I found out there was a lot of good information that they were disseminating during the class time as well. So very interesting things and just really helpful things.
Some of those things include nutrition, learning to set goals and how to achieve them, creating better habits, along with smoking cessation methods. Find Your Stride takes place at the University of Lethbridge every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. until February 29th. To register, you can contact Brooke Mulder at Campbell Clinic West. For eNEWS, I'm Jonathan Guignard.
Mulder suggests you visit the Alberta Quits website for more tips on how to kick the habit.
It's a fact, cold and flu season has arrived in southern Alberta. Here are a few ways that you can cope with the common cold.
Hello, my name is Katie Gerard and I've got 5 tips for you when treating a cold. Number 1, blow your nose. Instead of sniffling all that mucus to the back of your head, just get rid of it. The tip for this is carry a Kleenex box everywhere you go. Number 2, stay well rested. Of course your body's going to need more energy when it has a cold, so make some time for you and get some sleep. Number 3, gargle. Gargling helps with a sore throat, be it a warm water solution with salt or an apple cider vinegar with honey solution. It works, trust me. Number 4, drink hot fluids. Trust me, this one works. TTT all the time. It helps with a stuffy nose, and if you put honey in it, it also helps to soothe your throat. And it keeps you from being dehydrated. So try it. Number 5, take a hot steamy shower. This works for clearing up your nose, and it also works on your achy muscles that you have at the end of the day. So try it out.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Caitlin Wilson.
And I'm Craig Kamba. From all of us here at eNEWS, have a great weekend.